let me ask you something. What if I told you there was a massive, hidden epidemic that's affecting millions of car owners right now? We're talking about brand new $70,000 trucks just dying at 30,000 miles. Family SUVs suddenly catching fire on the highway. And look, this isn't some rare defect. This is an industry-wide crisis, and your engine could absolutely be next. So let's get into what's really going on here. Okay, first, you gotta wrap your head around the sheer scale of this problem. We are talking about more than 5 million engines from huge trusted automakers that are, as we speak, at risk of totally failing. This isn't just some small recall for a bad sensor. No, this is a systemic breakdown happening under the hoods of literally millions of cars and trucks.
And this isn't just about your car breaking down and leaving you stranded. I mean, that's bad enough. But this number, 42, that's the number of verified engine fires. Not just smoke, not just a little overheating. We're talking full-on fireballs erupting from under the hood, sometimes with families inside. So yeah, the stakes here are unbelievably high.
And just look who's involved here. This isn't some obscure, little-known brand. We're talking about the titans, General Motors, Toyota, Honda, Hyundai, Kia, pillars of the auto industry. You've got nearly 1 million big GM V8s, over 200,000 brand new Toyota Tundras and Lexus SUVs, 1.5 million Hondas, and a mind-blowing 1.5 million from Hyundai and Kia. This problem, it's everywhere.
So the big question is, what is actually causing this nationwide engine nightmare? Well, it's not just one thing. That's the tricky part. It's what investigators have started calling a mechanical perfect storm. It's this pileup of modern tech and, frankly, engineering compromises that are pushing these engines way past their breaking point. So a huge piece of the puzzle is the insane amount of pressure we're putting on modern engines. Back in the 90s, right, a big V8 might crank out about 60 horsepower for every liter of engine size. Today, a modern turbocharged V6 is pushing out over 128 horsepower per liter. You see that? That's more than double the power, double the stress, from an engine with about half the metal to handle it all. At some point, physics just starts to fight back. And all that crazy stress means there is zero room for error, especially when you've got an invisible killer that almost nobody outside of a professional engine shop has ever even heard of. It's called Swarf. Just think of it like microscopic, razor-sharp metal dust that gets left behind when the engine is built. It's actually harder than your engine's bearings, and it basically acts like liquid sandpaper circulating through the lifeblood of your engine. And listen to this, because it really illustrates the danger. A master engine builder explained that just one of these microscopic bits of swarf, one tiny piece getting into the wrong place, is enough to start a catastrophic chain reaction. It gets stuck in the soft bearing, starts grinding away at the crankshaft, and within days, boom, your engine is completely torn apart from the inside out. But you know, Swarf is just one piece of this perfect storm. We are literally stacking technologies on top of each other that each add their own unique stress. You've got start-stop tech, which means dozens of high-wear engine restarts every time you drive to the store. Then you've got insane turbocharging, which doubles cylinder pressures. Direct injection runs way hotter and dirtier. And then you throw in some COVID-era quality control problems on top of all that. You're left with an engine that simply cannot survive for the long haul. So here's the billion-dollar question. Do the car companies know this is happening? Oh, absolutely. Look at this. This right here is the smoking gun. GM's big 6.2-liter V8s are self-destructing because of bearing failures. And what's their official fix in the recall? To stop using the paper-thin 0W20 oil and switch to a much, much thicker 0W40. See, that thicker oil provides a stronger cushion between metal parts. They're basically admitting the original thin oil wasn't strong enough to stop the engine from eating itself alive. If the thin oil wasn't the problem, why is thick oil their only answer? But that just leads to an even bigger question, right? Why on earth are automakers using these risky technologies and ultra-thin oils to begin with? It's not because their engineers suddenly forgot how to build a tough engine. No, the real villain here is something else entirely. It's the unbelievable regulatory pressure they're all under. At the very heart of this whole crisis, you'll find something called the Corporate Average Fuel Economy Standards, or CAFE for short. Basically, these are government rules that force every single car company to hit a brutally aggressive fleet-wide average for miles per gallon. It's a number they have to hit, period. No excuses. And just how aggressive is that target? 49 miles per gallon. Let that sink in for a second. That's the average they're being pushed toward. Now think about the trucks and big SUVs people are actually buying. Your F-150 that gets maybe 20 mpg, your Tahoe that gets 18.
There's just no way, mathematically, to hit a 49 mpg average when you're selling those vehicles. And the penalties for failing, they are absolutely astronomical. If a big car maker misses that target by just a single mile per gallon, they can get hit with over $340 million in fines. And that is why they're squeezing every last drop of fuel economy out with thin oil and start-stop and tiny little turbo engines, because sadly for them, a predictable number of engines failing is actually cheaper than paying those massive fines. Okay, so we get the tech reasons, we get the regulatory pressure, but what does all of this actually mean for real people, for families? This is where the whole thing gets personal, where it hits you in your wallet and, frankly, it threatens your safety.
Just imagine this scenario for a minute, because it's happening to thousands of people. You're making $1,200 a month payments on your dream truck. It dies at 35,000 miles. The new engine is on back order for months. But guess what? Those payments don't stop. And when you finally get your truck back, you now own a nearly new vehicle that's already had an engine replacement. Its resale value? Yeah, that's been completely destroyed. Look, I know this whole situation sounds pretty bleak, but you are not powerless here. Not at all. There are real, concrete, practical steps you can take right now to protect your vehicle, protect your investment, and drastically cut your risk. So let's walk through your action plan. Okay, first things first, before you do anything else, check your VIN number on the NHTSA website. See if your vehicle is under a recall right now. Second, and this is absolutely crucial, cut your oil change intervals in half. Forget 10,000 miles. Think 5,000 max. It's the cheapest insurance policy you can buy for your engine. Third, make it a habit, every single time you start the car, to turn off that start-stop feature. Fourth, be your engine's best friend. Listen to it. Any new ticks or knocks, that's a cry for help. And fifth, when you're ready to buy a car, be a smart shopper. Avoid the very first model year of a new engine design, and seriously consider getting an extended warranty on any used car from 2020 to now. So, there you have it. The automakers made a calculated choice. They chose regulatory compliance over long-term reliability. It was a business decision, and your engine is the one paying the price. So the real question now is, knowing how this is happening and why it's happening, what steps are you going to take to make sure you don't become just another statistic in this hidden epidemic?